Hi all, it's JK here with a brand new video series. This is going to be a weekly video every Friday night, 9 PM GMT. So be there or be square basically. As you can see, Christmas is coming. It's 2 weeks and 2 days until the big day. So every episode until Christmas I'll be wearing a new jumper. So the way the video will work, it'll be a 15-minute package. It'll consist of 3 sections. It'll consist of news, reviews, and then a feature. And in tonight's reviews we'll be going over the Audi RS3, and in the feature, tonight's feature is going to be the 2017 Golf facelift. I go over the spec of the car, and then I give up my opinion of it basically. Right, on with the news. So in tonight's news, the VW scandal, a new twist. Tonight's twist is particularly interesting. The EU is taking legal action against the British government. So basically that means more expense for us taxpayers. 2 reasons for this. The first one being the scandal broke out back in September 2015. As local governments were scrambling to find out what was going on and, analysing data and, just to see how their own local testing didn't find these flaws and find the fact that VW were fiddling the figures. Information from the British government was not passed back to the EU. The British government's not the only one getting done for this. The Berlin's getting done as well. The German government are also being sued by the EU for this fact. And another thing is, why is it that in the United States, VW have had to pay out nearly $16 billion in damages, but in the EU, nothing's happened. They've not paid anyone. They've not paid anyone in the UK. They've not paid anyone in Germany, in Greece, in Lithuania, anywhere where that's been affected, where there's been VW sold on a mass scale. Has there been any compensation payout? So what the Americans did, in my opinion, is a very, very good thing. It's what our government should have done. And in light of that, what's going to happen now is, instead of any of us guys getting compensation, the government are going to sit there on their thumbs as usual while they get sued by the EU, and they'll probably pay high-flying lawyers that cost £1,500 an hour plus VAT to defend them. So, and it all comes out of public spending. It all comes out of taxpayers' money, and it really irritates me because, emissions scandal aside, what about the MPG scandal, where they claim their cars can do so many miles per gallon? For example, when I bought my Golf R, the dealer said, "Oh, you're in for a treat with this, mate. It does 48 miles to the gallon." My mate had 48 miles to the gallon out of it last week. I said, "You're lying, aren't you?" "Why are you lying?" He goes, "What do you mean?" I says, "Look, I don't believe you. It's 4-wheel drive, it's 300 brake, it weighs 1.x tons. There's no way this can do 40, nearly 50 miles to the gallon. I bet you a fiver it'll be 33 miles to the gallon." And checking my data the other day on the infotainment system, it reckons I've been achieving 27 miles to the gallon. So, he's an idiot. And I'm sick of it. They all do it. All dealers lie about the MPG. Except for the Ford Focus test driver did. He didn't lie because he was being filmed. He actually said, oh, I don't know off the top of my head, but if we look at the log, it's saying 16 miles to the gallon. And that was the demonstrator. So, we all know the way they do it. They put these cars on treadmills somewhere in a nice air-conditioned room, and they make it do 30, 40, 50, 60, up to 70 miles per hour, probably for 10 minutes. And then they say, yeah, this is how many miles per gallon we've been getting. And, it's irritating. Now the government have announced, as of next year, they're going to introduce real-term tests, which means, actually monitor the vehicle out in the open on a road, which is what they should have done in the first place, not in a lab. But anyway, so yeah, that covers the news this week. And now on to this week's review, the Audi RS3. What do I think to it, and would I buy one, and whatever. The RS3 is a fantastic car. It sounds amazing, it feels amazing. For me, it was the kind of car where as soon as I sat in it, I felt at home. Same went for the Golf R, obviously. It felt just like the Golf R to me. The gear changes were slick. Obviously the sound's real, but the sound actor doesn't bother me in the slightest. What put me off it was the fact that the dealer got this wrong as well. He said it's the same gearbox as the Golf, so that put me off because I was like, well, you know, it's 10 grand dearer than the Golf with nothing. And B, it's a 5-cylinder engine, so a lot more road tax and insurance. And the dealer never told me what the road tax was because he couldn't answer the question, just like most of them can't. So I've just Googled it now, and the road tax for the 2.5 5-cylinder is £290 a year. Not bad, not bad at all. And if you buy in new, there's a 500 quid sales tax, showroom tax. So, which the dealer didn't mention to me, so I don't know. But yeah, £290 road tax. The unit is 370 brake, if I remember correctly. For some reason, the website's gone dodgy. Yeah, 376 brake horsepower. I think it's 340 torques, if I remember correctly. And, you know, it just went like the clappers. But it felt just like the Golf R. Power delivery felt the same. Handling on a B road felt the same. It was well refined on a motorway, just like the Golf. I asked him if it came with ACC. He said, not this spec, it's an optional extra. I said, wow, it comes with the Golf. So, you know, it's all those little things that led me to think that I'd rather save 10 grand, get all those extra features thrown in, and sacrifice, 40 torques and 67 horsepower. And seriously, the when it came to that and the Golf R, they felt the same. They really did feel the same. So yeah, ultimately though, if you're the kind of person that does want the Audi badge, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, then buy it. You will be happy with the car. It's fast. People launch them left, right and centre. Although I've heard of a lot of failures, they do get honoured by warranty. And it's a cracking car. It is brilliant. I love it. So the 2017 Golf facelift, what do I think and what's it all about? The new facelift model comes out in early 2017, so expect it to be on the 17 reg plate. And this section covers exterior, engines, interior and safety. So jump into the exterior. It has new front wings and bumper with redesigned grille and reshaped air intakes. Okay, that went straight over me. I did not notice that at all. It has new front and rear LEDs with higher spec cars getting the pulsating indicators. Now, the pulsating indicators we're all familiar with. Audis have had them now for a year or two. And it doesn't surprise me seeing them on the VW Golf, finally. And then the third thing is a redesigned rear bumper with new paint and wheel choices. Now, the wheels that were on the car at the unveiling, I didn't like. I thought they looked a bit weird. Trying to be artistic, didn't like them at all. It'll be interesting to see what other wheel designs they've got, but not sure about that. Jumping to the engines, they were really happy about the all-new 1.5 TSI with a choice of 130 bhp Blue Motion or 148 brake. Now, what they were saying was the Blue Motion is capable of up to 60 miles to the gallon. Well, that's interesting because if you do a quick Google, you'll see that the last Blue Motion they did, which came out in 2013, was reviewed by Mount Motoring journalist and was capable of a claimed 88.3 miles to the gallon. So either that was a lie, which we all know it was, or they've decided to make future diesels a bit more gas guzzling. So in my opinion, 60 miles to the gallon is still a lie. It'll probably do late 40s, mid 50s, 55 miles to the gallon, I think a friend of mine's getting out of his Blue Motion. So, you know, even with the scandal, they're still not being 100% honest with us. For you GTI fans out there, the GTI, still a 2 litre, gets a 10 brake horsepower increase, or taking it up to 230 brake. This goes up to 245 brake with a performance pack. So always nice, getting extra bhp. Concerning the Golf R, we don't know anything at the minute. There's all sorts of rumours and speculations, but let's be honest. They'll probably go where tuners have already been with a stage 1, and you'll probably get a 360 brake Golf R. You know, APR, Revo, all tuners have easily managed to get 360 brake out of, or even 370 out of a stage 1, and a stage 1 is just a remap. So that's what I'm betting. So moving on to the interior, this is where it completely goes Audi on us. So the infotainment system, that screen becomes a 9.2 inch screen. The manual buttons for car, home, media and all that jazz, they become built into the, closer into the screen and have a glass covering. So that looks nice. Gesture control is added, so I'm not sure what that means. I think it means you swipe your hand left or right, unless it means you can finally do hand gestures like that. It understands, but I doubt it. So, but if you use your navigation system at the minute on the current infotainment system, when you move your hand toward it, a menu pops up, so it sort of detects your hand already. So you could tell it was going to move that way. A feature that I really like about this is cableless charging for your phone. So at the minute in the Mark 7, in the center console where it flips down and says 4Motion, you can flip it up and there's a little storage compartment there with a USB connection socket. Now, in the Facelift model, you'll be able to put your phone in there wirelessly and it will charge the phone. I know charging plates aren't new, they've been out for a couple of years, but it's nice that they put it into this car. And finally, they're introducing the 12.3 digital driving information display. This is known as the virtual cockpit on Audis. So again, it's Audi technology. I'm not sure if it's going to be standard on all the new lines, or is it just going to be the higher up ones? Probably just the higher up ones. So moving on to safety. Emergency city braking system now detects pedestrians. Well, that's crazy because I thought it did that anyway. To me, the emergency city braking system, which I usually switch off because I don't like it, I thought you'd be driving along in a town, 30 mile an hour, somebody steps in front of you or a car stops in front of you, boom, the brakes pop in and stops the car. But no, they announced at the unveiling that it now caters for pedestrians as well. That's quite bad in my opinion. It should have catered for pedestrians in the first place. I don't know what you think. Be interested in what you put in the comments about that. And secondly, a new feature which I do like, safe driver detection. So basically, if you're driving along and you've just been on holiday and you've been flying for 27 hours and you finally got home, if you're driving home and you fall asleep, the car will stop. If the car thinks you're drunk, it will stop. If you've fallen ill and you black out, or if you have a heart attack or whatever, if you start behaving strangely, the car will stop. And that's called the safe driver detection. And I like it. I think that's a good idea. It will certainly move towards killing a lot of accidents off the road. And in light of all of this, in light of all the shiny new features that nobody asked for, they've decided that there's going to be a price hike. So, yeah, the media is speculating that because of all these new features, because of the new paint, the new wheels, and because of the slight redesigns, and the new technology, prices are likely to go up. To me, that's BS, because it's technology that's lifted from Audis, and it's technology that Audi drivers had to pay for as extras, as far as I'm aware. They didn't come standard. They certainly didn't come standard with the RS3 I test drove. That just came with a standard rev meter and speedometer, not a virtual cockpit. That's what the virtual cockpit does. It replaces your rev meter and speedometer with a new digital screen, so you can see sat nav on it, boost gauges, temperature gauges, oil levels, speed, all sorts of things. So yeah, it's disappointing that they're going to increase prices, because they've introduced this technology from Audi's division to the VW division, but they're going to make us pay more for it. Ultimately, they're improvements that I didn't really think were necessary, but you know, if they're scared of losing out to competition, if they're trying to retain market share, then that's what they're going to do. Be interested to see what you guys think, but to me, I'm underwhelmed, because nothing shocked me there. You know, it was in an Audi. I saw it already. So I suppose it would be a lot cheaper than an Audi, but by the time this car comes out, 17, you'll probably be able to pick up a 15 reg S3 for almost as much as a new Golf. So I don't know. I suppose it's going to always be cheaper than an Audi. Maybe Audi prices will go up now as well, seeing as Golf prices are going up, VW prices are going up. So yeah, that concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. So, yeah. Till next week. Cheers.